All right, welcome to Here's the Deal. This is the Here's the Deal call-in show. And yeah, I know it's Mickey Mouse. We're going to be doing this from my phone right here. And call in and let us know what the deal is in your neck of the woods. The number is going to be 918-410-9174. 918-410-9174. You know what I better do? 918-410-9174. This is a call-in. Trolls are welcome, by the way. If you want to tell me what fur, go ahead. You can tell me what fur. There is no censorship here, so if you are a mod in my room, please don't censor anybody. Unless they continually spam the room and nobody can get in a word in edgewise. That right there is a violation of everybody else's rights. Let's see. Pin message. 918-410-9174. If you want to call in, if you don't, that's fine. We can find plenty to talk about. What's up, Accountability Angel? How you doing? I love Accountability Angel's voice. She's got the perfect auditing voice. Very friendly, very cool, very even keel. Hello from Ireland. What's up, Kelly Club? And if you want to donate to the channel, it's probably best to do it with Cash App. What's the other one? Do I have Patreon anymore? I don't know. They terminated it and they brought it back, and then they terminated it and they brought it back. What is it? I don't even know. Let me see. It is Patreon, Cash App, and Buy Me a Coffee. And those are underneath every video. So if that's what you want to do. So go ahead and call. I had a couple people call before. Let's see. Do I have to open this app? Maybe I have to open it. There. Now it's open. It should be clear. Has anybody... Oh, there's no sound? You guys can't hear me? It says my mic is working. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Yeah, that would suck if I'm just sitting here talking into the air. Steve says, never mind. Has anybody tried to call and it didn't work? It's fine if nobody calls. It's fine. We got a lot to talk about. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can screw this up too. Answer.
Jason.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up, Jason? You are live. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian. It's Rockport Rights Enthusiast. I want to thank you for all you do for everyone's freedom, and also to thank everyone for all that they do. And I didn't really have anything specific. I just wanted to thank you guys, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Where are you calling from?
Rockport, Texas.
Oh, okay. Did you guys get any tornadoes last night? I know it hit pretty close to Dallas.
Not that I know of. I hadn't heard of anything. No.
Oh, we got blitzed with tornadoes in western Oklahoma, but it didn't really make its way to the east. But man, I appreciate you calling in.
Yes, sir. I'm going to jump back on the live. Thank you, man.
All right, take care. Bye. Swipe up to answer.
Call from
Benghazi Rabbit.
Oh, Benghazi
to accept,
Rabbit.
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up, Benghazi Rabbit?
Hey, Brian. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing? Glad you called in.
I'm doing good. How was your food, man? I saw you were getting dinner, so you pushed it back. How was dinner?
Yeah, I was wolfing it down, man. I'll probably get indigestion tonight. I was just throwing it down.
Well, good, because I'm cooking my dinner now, so I'm going to scarf it down when I get off the phone with you.
Awesome, man. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, not much. I figured I'd call in since no one's calling in and make sure that this thing's running good for you.
Man.
Get a solid test in really quick.
Hey, I appreciate that. And I also appreciate your work out there, man. You're doing a good job.
Hey, thanks, man. We're doing what the wife and I think's fun and think people would like to watch.
Yeah. So explain to everybody what state you're in. Where are you from, and what are the top problems in law enforcement out there?
So I'm from Delaware originally, but right now I'm in North Carolina. We are in North Carolina, and one of the biggest issues actually that we are facing where we're at is the local police, and I will say the department because I have no problem saying the department, Spruce Pine Police Department in North Carolina, we have a pretty big issue with them. And it's come to a head to the public because about 2 months ago, 3 of the local officers decided that they were going to beat up. And when I say beat up, we're talking almost the Rodney King status here. They decided to beat up a guy who pulled into the Walmart parking lot.
Call from.
It's breaking the flaw, Brian.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, I just hung up on Benghazi Rabbit. Hey, Benghazi, you still there? Oh, man. Hold on 1 second. Switch. Hey, Benghazi, are you still there?
Yeah, still here.
Hey, start over, man. Because I was trying to take a call, and I thought I was going to put them on hold, but I put you on hold, so we missed the last 15 seconds. So start over. We're listening.
Well, I was just saying that the police issue that we're dealing with is our local police department decided to deal with an incident. They got a 911 call from a Walmart, and it was from a Walmart manager. And they called, and there was a man in their parking lot, in the grocery pickup section of the parking lot, who was unconscious and not responding to them, and they wanted him basically trespassed. So 3 police officers responded to our local Walmart, went up, and we have eyewitness reports. There's no body cam or dash cam from this department. We can talk about that because that's pretty interesting. So from eyewitness reports, 3 officers pulled up, opened the car door, unbuckled the seatbelt of this gentleman, drug him out of the car, and proceeded to beat on him and dry tase him. Now, that was the eyewitness report. We got the security camera footage from the family, and we're waiting for from the okay from the lawyer to release it, for court stuff. But someone on the opposition, however, released it. And in that security camera footage, you can see Spruce Pine Police throw 13 close-fisted strikes on an unconscious individual, then dry tase him, handcuff him, leave him on the ground, put him in the police vehicle for about an hour, and then take him away. No, not once was EMS called. They never checked on him or anything. More details come out about it, though. The gentleman who was attacked is still, he works for the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. He is not a police officer. I want to make this very clear. He is not a police officer. However, he is an officer with the state. He is a narcotics officer and a canine handler. His twin brother's a state trooper. His mom spent 20-some years in law enforcement and retired as a lieutenant. His stepdad did 30-some years in law enforcement and retired. So his whole family's blue. Because of that incident, the entire local community now does not trust the police. So now everyone is talking about all the misconduct that the police are doing, how they're working with local drug dealers during the night time, when they're screwing certain people on the patrol cars, when they're doing this, that, and the other. There has been a blanket just unveiled that these people are like, we cannot trust them. If this happened to an entire family of blue, it'll happen to us. So it's one of those things, Brian, that you say all the time, back to blue until it happens to you. Well, this entire community just saw it happen to an entire blue family, and they're on the lines of F the police now. So, they first saw me with my crazy signs and stuff, and were like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And hating on me, and now they're, feeding us information. We're getting tips out the wazoo about all this stuff, man. And we're learning more and more every day about this local stuff.
Hey, let me ask you this. Has local news covered this at all?
So they covered it briefly, very, very briefly, as you know they would. The mainstream news and stuff. They covered it very, let's say, biased, as you know, local news would. But we spoke with the family directly.
Biased in the cops' favor, I assume.
Oh, yes, totally. They don't want to report on all the, they just did an overview of someone was beat up in the parking lot and all that stuff. But we sat down and we explained to people, hey, that this is the route he took home. Like, the timeline that they're portraying in the news and what the cops are saying doesn't add up. And here's the best part, Brian. Here's the best part. The local news actually got the incident report from the PD. 3 pages of that incident report are fully redacted.
Wow. Of course.
Fully. 100% redacted.
Why am I not surprised?
And it's funny because everyone's like, where's the body cam footage? Where's the body cam footage? Well, the Spruce Pine Police Department got $30-some thousand for body cameras a couple years ago, and, well, where's those cameras and where'd the money go?
Yeah, exactly. So is anybody in the news pressing that with the police department and asking them those questions?
Just me.
Has there been any kind of press release? Like, has the police department at least attempted to try to address this issue and this incident?
They put out a statement, I'd say within 48 hours of it happening, saying that we handed it off to the State Bureau of Investigation. Since then, no one's heard anything. The police officers are still on the force, still running stop signs, still speeding through the neighborhood, still doing this stuff, and everyone out here is terrified.
What is the population of that town?
It's not very big. It's a small mountain town. I'd say less than 2,000. The county is like 15,000. However, we are right off the Blue Ridge Parkway, so tourist season has just started.
Oh, okay. How many
So
how many cops are with the department, and do they also have a sheriff's department?
So we do have a sheriff's department. I can't tell you the exact statistics on how many cops that they have because they won't release that information because it is, I don't know what the exact term is because they're not saying it's for officer safety, but they're saying it's for public safety that we can't release the exact information. So we don't know exactly how many officers they have. The sheriff's department can't stand the local PD. There is an ongoing thing between them. We're still trying to learn more about that. The state troopers have a post in the same building, and it's like the biggest gang-on-gang thing here. So everyone knows here that all 3 of these departments are like battling each other.
Well, that right there is interesting to me. That Thin Blue Line would be against Thin Blue Line and actually make one of their their police departments look bad by beating up another cop. That's interesting to me.
Oh man! Ever since that incident happened, like. The state has, they're like, oh man, yeah, I'm trying to very sense myself too. They're like, oh man, F you guys, like the state guys are livid.
Wow, man, that's so. When are you planning on releasing that video on your channel? Do you know?
So we've done 2 videos so far on it. When we have the okay from the family's attorney, we will do our full follow-up. We're waiting for them because, as you know, how court proceedings go. We don't want to ruin any potential civil stuff that they may have. So when we do get the okay from their attorney, we will release the full expose on that situation. But we've done 2 coverages so far on it.
Are you still working with Sean Porter?
I am. I just talked to him yesterday.
Is he on this case too?
No, he doesn't care about any of this crap that you and I care about. Sean is in his lane, caring about Frederick County up in there. He focuses on his area entirely. However, I did give him the footage, like the Walmart footage when the news leaked it. So he did put that up. I think he got like 60,000 views in a day or something like that. So he has put that up and he's talked about it. But other than that, he's like, I don't care.
Right. Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you letting us know about this. I'm going to get to another call, but man, I appreciate you calling in and letting us know about that. I'm looking forward to that video.
Sorry it takes so much time. I just wanted to come in and give a quick test and just say, hey, thanks for everything you're doing.
No, you're good, man. Thank you so much for calling.
All right, guys. Have a great one. Brian, thanks so much.
Hey, thank you.
Talk to you later.
Take care. Wow, that's interesting to me because anytime you have cops coming against another cop and then there's this like turf war, gang war kind of thing, that's pretty interesting. Ruh-roh. Hey, can you hear us? Oh, wait a minute. It's not letting me go to speaker. Just 1 second. 1 second. What's up with this? Well, that's not good. Can you hear me? Well, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right, good. Hey, you're live, man. How you doing? Who is this?
This is Cesario Serato calling you again.
It's who? Who is this again?
We've talked. I've talked on your live stream a couple of times already. Cesario.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Got some more stuff to say. Some hopefully different stuff. Okay. Thanks to you, I'm taking the Brandon Joe Williams course, and if everything he says is true, and I'm working on it, I've only been 2 weeks into it, so I can't get a whole lot of results yet. But if everything he's saying is true, all this tyranny and stuff, people deserve it because they're not state nationals. According to my understanding, you're supposed to be taking the course, right?
Yeah, I'm still going through it. I'm gonna have actually.
Okay,
I don't know if you know this, but I'm gonna have Brandon on the show on the 30th. This coming up 30th.
Oh, in a couple of days.
Yep.
Okay. So if I can continue, if you don't mind, this is my understanding. He says as state nationals, if you're a resident alien, then you are under the jurisdiction of all the tyranny that the cops give us, or them, or us, whoever. I'm not done yet, but so as a state national or as a non-residential alien, you are not under the jurisdiction, so they can't pull you over. They can't do anything to you as long as you're not committing a crime. Traffic infractions don't count. So you might have to change your channel because this tyranny is correct on any of us if we are U.S. citizens, if we are resident aliens. Because we're under a trust. Under a trust, we've put ourselves under their jurisdiction. When we become a non-resident alien, we've taken ourselves out of their jurisdiction, so they can't bother us. That hugely affects what we're going through.
I would say this. I would not say can't bother us, because a tyrant is always going to find a way to bother us, whether they believe, whether they're on the same page as we are or not. So, I mean, it looks compelling to me that if you change your status, then you take yourself out of their jurisdiction. The problem is, are they going to recognize that you took yourself out of your jurisdiction? Because, of course, the very first thing that they're going to do is call you a conspiracy theorist, and they're going to say that you've lost your mind because obviously we do have jurisdiction. So there's a lot of caveats that are attached to that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you say that because you probably didn't go deep enough into the course yet. But I'm already in my second week, and I've learned a lot from him and you, and what I already have known from. I just couldn't put it all together. I didn't know how, and I think these guys have done it by having your passport and uncontracting yourself in a with license, all the licenses, whether it's marriage license, concealed carry permit, all the licenses we put ourselves under. When we uncontract ourselves and get a new passport, and the passport says we're state national or non-resident alien, then that automatically removes us from their jurisdiction. That's how, and all the court cases, I can't remember them all. I have them written down, but there's too many. I can't remember, but that's what Brandon's for. He has all that.
Yeah, but, I'm putting that on the screen. I'll tell you what's compelling to me. What's compelling to me is that if do you know about the YouTube channel Daily Driven Exotics?
I do not.
Okay, so this guy and his buddies driving around with Lamborghinis and Porsches and all these exotic high dollar vehicles. Well, he's from Canada. Now he has a United States driver's license, but he's a Canadian, so he also has papers for Canada. What's compelling to me about the state national is cops do treat you different when they believe that you're from a different jurisdiction. You know what I mean? So there's some kind of legitimacy that even they will assent to and act accordingly on. So if you, for example, if you had a passport and you were driving an automobile on the highways of the United States and you got pulled over by, say, in California by the CHP, and you pulled out your passport, they won't have you in their database, so they've got nothing on you. Now they might issue you a physical ticket, but it's nothing that it doesn't look like it would be anything that you would be obligated to, pay or respond to. Does that make sense?
Exactly. No, I do know. Now that you mentioned the exotic cars, I don't remember the name, but now you're right. I do know. I do watch that. This is very good stuff. But when you said the license, that automatically puts them under their jurisdiction, because according to Brandon's course, you don't have a driver's license anymore. You have different plates, and all of it matches up with your new status as a non-resident alien or state national with your passport. So if they were to pull you over, which you would have to be doing some kind of speed or something, or I don't know, whatever. But what they run your license plate wouldn't even wouldn't match with a regular driver's license jurisdiction. It would match along with your passport. So if they were to pull you over, according to what I understand, you pull out your passport and they see, oh, we can't touch you. They'll move along. Have a good day. Move along. So with that, you said that guy in the expensive car, he has a license. That automatically doesn't match up with his passport unless his passport. I don't know how Canadian does it. I live in this country, so I don't know. But by having a U.S. or a California, whatever, a certain state's license, that already automatically puts you under the jurisdiction. And if you have a license plate that matches, that you're already done.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, because another thing that kind of compels me to ask all these questions and delve into this is that there are Supreme Court cases, there are writings from the founding fathers, there is legal terminology that it seems like the powers that shouldn't be, don't acknowledge. For example, the first word that actually started me on this quest for, discovery to find out what's actually going on is the term ens legis. Do you know what that is?
I do. I think he wrote. I have it written down, but I've just learned that term.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. To me, ens legis is like the springboard that helps us to plunge into the pool of this interesting world of deception, let's put it. So ens legis literally just means corporate fiction. If you actually type in the word, it actually sets the word corporate fiction against natural man. And they do that in their own dictionary writing. So if indeed we are conspiracy theorists, then what do these words actually mean? Why did people write it down? Why is it in legal dictionaries? And how are we to understand it? So I like to look at things in a devil's advocate way. I don't like to have a dog in the fight, because then I become biased, and then I start suffering from cognitive bias, and then I want something to be true that may not be. But there are a lot of questions, and there's a lot of statements, like I'm reading on the screen right now, Waring versus Mayor of Savannah. It says people are supreme, not the state. Well, if that's true, then the state can't have authority over people if the people are above the state.
Yes, that's true. But if you went at least to the 13th, there's a website called Weiss and Associate, and they break all kinds of stuff down that makes sense, how the U.S. and District of Columbia are two separate entities. Well, you got a corporate, and then you have natural. So if your status is you live on the earth of Oklahoma, that's one thing. But if you live in the state, capital STATE, state of Oklahoma, now you live in the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C.
Right.
Two different things. So that's where the difference comes in. Is it's true. One side says you are sovereign over the state if you're outside of D.C.'s jurisdiction. But because we have marriage licenses and driver's license and permit to carry and all these things we put ourselves under, we follow under the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C., which is a corporate entity for profit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to having Brandon on the show. Let me give you the real definition of Ensley. Just quote, a creature of the law, an artificial being as contrasted with the natural person, applied to corporations considered as deriving their existence entirely from the law. That's not a flesh and blood human being.
Exactly. Brian, please do yourself a favor and go through his courses so you'll be more familiar, because he talks, when you're not familiar like me, I'm still learning, he just blows me away. Now, what is this guy saying? He's going too fast. But when you're used to it, he's like, oh yeah, and I know exactly what you're saying. Oh yeah. So please do yourself a favor and go through his courses. Whatever day you're on, write stuff down. You'll see where his stuff is saying what we want. We want freedom.
Yep, exactly. I agree, man. Hey, thank you for calling in.
Thank you too.
All right, brother. Take care.
Okay. All right, bye.
All right. Yeah, this is all pretty good, pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to have Brandon Williams on the show on April 30th, and I'm probably going to do it on the Delete Laws channel because way more people watch that, and I've got access through the Delete Laws channel to StreamYard, and that's where Brandon can actually, put up screenshots of what he's talking about, which I can't do in OBS for some reason.
Dan.
To accept, press 1.
Hey, welcome to the show. You're live on the air.
StreamYard. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Long time caller, first time listener.
Hey, man. Good. What's on your mind?
Just a bad joke, Brian. Just a bad joke. Second time caller, talked to you a year and a half ago. Just wanted to try and add some clarification to you. You were quibbling with Jefferson's Declaration of Independence line that goes, governments derive their just authority from the consent of the governed. And I understand your complaint about the line. It's really archaic language to begin with, but I just wanted to bring up that this is a type of contract law that's found throughout the world's court systems, a good deal of them. In that sense, it is like a world law that's out there, this, contract law, in as much as Jefferson's line is equatable to contract law. And you had a problem with the way it was worded, just like so many things in the Constitution. And so I wanted to defend the line as far as meaning it doesn't mean that you put yourself under the government. You always have to have your consent. But the way you were wording it was a fair reading too, and I'm always interested on how you read that line.
Well, let me just read the whole thing. They say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, they say governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Now, I know if we just stay with the pure etymological definition of the word govern, it just means to control. So, and if somebody's controlled, it seems to imply that they're controlled against their consent. So if you are controlling somebody who doesn't want to be controlled, how can you derive powers and call them just from people who are being controlled?
That's excellent, and this is one reason why language should be codified. At the same time, the poet should have license too, and so the etymological definition should be called into play, but also the sense in which we use it. And the line itself, the way my brother reads it as a general consent. And I say, no, then he would say by the consent of most of the people, or a quorum, which is, 0.666% of the people. He doesn't qualify it, Jefferson's line. He says by the consent of the governed, meaning all of them. And so our system now of general consent has superseded this individual consent, and I believe it's a noble concept and that we overlook it a lot of times.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you put it in that framework, it makes even less sense to me, because if you're going to say consent of the governed, meaning all of them, well, that's not possible, because what if some people, number one, don't want to be governed, and what if they don't consent to the thing that you're trying to govern them to?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, you just nailed the problem with it, and that's why we abandoned it for general consent. You know why? Because you can't form unanimous consent on hardly anything.
Right, yeah.
And so, although it is an impossible standard, Brian, it is a fair one. And if we work ourselves up from there, then we have a blameless society. But when you abandon that and do this mob mentality, you bring people under your fold that don't consent.
So encapsulate exactly, just like if you were just to start fresh with a fresh, clean piece of paper, describe your understanding of consent of the governed one more time.
Very good. Well, again, here's what law has to codify language. So we should really have strict definitions, of course, governed to past participle, govern, so it is in the past by the consent of the governed. But the way you plainly read that line is that without the consent, there is no governed. And so a plain reading of the line, I think, suggests, like I suggested, that Jefferson is advocating for individual consent in the government. We've abandoned that for a quorum, and sometimes, which is 2/3 of or whatever majority we've abandoned it for. And so I think that was one of our big mistakes. Also, I would like to bring out my state constitution in Pennsylvania was ratified years before the federal constitution. And in our state constitution, we have, phrases such as "this shall remain forever inviolate," which means that when the federal constitution was constructed, of course, as you might imagine, they just threw that whole concept out willy-nilly, or at least that's the way we're supposed to believe.
Right, which renders the meaning of what they actually said completely worthless.
And it's been done throughout history, for time and time again, this move, of course.
Yeah. Well, man, yeah.
During the pandemic, you were the one voice of reason, one of the few voices. I'm always appreciative and thanks. It meant a lot to me and probably a lot of other people.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you very much for calling in.
Thanks, Brian. Love you, brother.
All right.
Peace.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. These are, I don't put a one in the room if you think these are interesting conversations. This is absolutely interesting to me. And I like having my thinking challenge. Somebody said that I'm afraid to talk to Paul Enslaved. Why would that be? We get along. I don't understand why somebody would say that. This is from Arizona.
To accept, press.
Welcome aboard.
How's it going, Brian?
Good. Who's this?
Well, they like to call me Snafu Snaps. You and I know mutual friends, the guy who frauded veterans, Marfugal, but that's not what I'm here for. I wanted to ask you about Chili's game board and why you're not talking to Daddy over at Paul and Slavia. Why don't you go have a conversation with Mr. Paul and Slavia? And we know your position when you backed up Marfugal, who committed veteran charity fraud, Brian. But this question is about Chile. You guys promoting this board game to change the world and just weird optics. I call them pogo, Brian. You know what that is. Me and you've had talks before.
Okay, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about with Marfugal. What do you... I'm not really...
Oh, you don't know about Marfugal veteran fraud? Let's get back to Paul Enslaved, Daddy. How come you're avoiding talking to him?
What are you talking about, Daddy? What's that all about?
Why don't you go talk to him? Paul Enslaved? Are you telling me you don't know who that is?
I've talked to Paul Enslaved. Right.
So why are you avoiding him?
What do you mean?
Why are you avoiding? Because here's the deal: you guys are grifting off this.
Wait, hold on a second. Slow down.
Government-operated media relations. The cameras were in courtroom with Chile. How many GoFundMes do you guys have? Like 5, 6 of them now.
Slow down, Snafu. Slow down. Are you ready? Let's talk calmly. Take a breath. Take a breath. Why are you calling Paul?
Oh, I'm breathing just fine. You guys are the ones grifting. I just figured you should go talk to Paul Enslaved. It would be a good conversation.
Give me the definition of grift.
Well, you guys basically are frauding, scamulant, kind of like what your boy Marfugal did with veteran fraud.
What is
veteran? Mike Strutton, his boy Mike Strutton is Oracle's vice president, social media relations was. Okay. I knew him very well, Brian, and me and you've talked many times before. You're acting like we haven't. My question to you, though, is you guys are grifting the whole truth community with Castro acting like he's up in prison right now, crying, doing these
phone calls, doing the GoFundMes. Why don't you go have a real conversation with some real truthers over at Paul and Slave's channel?
I would love to talk. First of all, you accuse me of dodging Paul Enslaved. Can you?
Yeah, absolutely. He said himself he's tried reaching out to you multiple times, and you've not reached back out to him.
Do you know,
that's on you and him.
Do you know how many people have tried to reach out to me in the last year or two? It's a lot of people. So I like.
Okay.
I
do know, Brian, is what you guys are doing is not okay.
I like Paul, and as last I heard, we got along good. I didn't know Paul was saying anything negative, and it doesn't sound like it's in his character.
I didn't say he said anything negative. That's coming out of your mouth. I'm telling you, you guys are grifting with Chili.
You just implied that Paul is saying that I'm dodging him. You just said that Paul
absolutely. He has made that claim, saying he has reached out to you, and you are dodging him. Now, that is out of Paul. That's why I'm here to say, why don't you come join Unslavia and have some real conversations? Because what we see going on with this grift, at least the crew, I know the Marfugal shit and you covering up with Marfugal, the veteran fraud, and Mike Strutton being a pogo, or Oracle, right? You remember Oracle?
I got no idea.
I
got no idea what you're talking about. Accusation without substantiation is the.
These aren't accusations, brother.
Hey, are you going to let me talk, or are you just going to talk over me? Is that how it's going to work?
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because I know you're scamming the fucking truther community, you and Chili, but go ahead.
All right. Tell me what the definition of grift is.
A cupcake fucktard that wants to take advantage of people. You think a board game is going to change the world?
Do you think that I agree with everything Chili does?
I don't know. You're pushing up his GoFundMes.
Why don't
you? Covered up veteran fraud with Marfugal and Adam and never called them out. You never called who Mike Strutton, his co-host, was.
I don't know
with Oracle, Vice President of Social Media Relations. I see Pogo all over you, Brian. I have for years.
I don't know who you're talking about, brother. I don't know.
You do know what I'm talking about.
I know who Marfugal is, but I don't know what you're talking about the veteran.
You do know what I'm talking about. You know his co-host.
Can you prove that? Can you prove that I know that?
Absolutely, I can prove it.
You can prove that I know what you're talking about.
Funny thing, Bob, you remember Global Witness, Marfugal, a lot of you big dogs in the game, right? You guys got these numbers, you got these algorithms, and then it's all about the GoFundMes. It's about the board games, the T-shirts, and you're trying to work within the system, a New World Order B system. My question to you is, you should come talk to Enslavia and Paul and actually deal with real motherfuckers, because what I see you doing is I see you guys taking advantage all for money with this Chili DeCastro bullshit.
All right. Well, thanks for your opinion. I appreciate you expressing that.
Oh, you don't see it? You don't see the 4 or 5 GoFundMes? You're not going to admit Marfugal's co-host, Mike Strutton, Oracle Vice President of Social Media Relations? You're going to act like all this shit is just made up, Brian?
No, Darkado, this isn't Paul. This is not Paul.
I'm telling you, man, you pogos are getting out of hand.
Paul doesn't talk like this that I remember. Paul is actually even keel. He's logical. He's very calm, and he's methodical in his speech, unlike this caller right here.
So I'm telling you to quit ignoring him and quit being a cupcake, Brian, and go have some real conversations instead of fucking dealing with these scamulant fucks who are grifting and fucking lying to the people.
So I'm a cupcake because I don't do what you think I should do?
You're absolutely a cupcake. You've been one since you covered up fraud with Marfugal TV and News.
So I'm a cupcake because I don't do what you want me to do? That's not a very good standard.
Oh, so now you're going to... What did I say to do? Have a conversation with non-cupcakes, with non-people who are scamming the truth community? See, this whole Chili DeCastro thing, remember when the cameras panned right on him? Those tears came out really good. And who had the cameras? Who got those cameras in that courtroom? Who filed that paperwork, Brian?
All right, let me go ahead and talk. Now, this is why I hate censorship, because I want guys like this to talk. I want them to reveal who they actually are.
I'm the one.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait a second.
That you're promoting with 5 GoFundMes. for a guy who cries in fucking county jail like he's hemmed up in prison.
So,
you guys are scamming the people with this whole chilly fucking bullshit you guys are doing together.
So if you keep on talking over me, we can't really have a logical conversation, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
well, I hope you come join us at Unslavia. I hope you come join us.
Join us? Why would I join you if you're part of a group who thinks
to have a conversation?
No, if you
why would I join you? Why wouldn't you? Wait, because you want to protect your scams?
This is why I do not censor. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, now you're going to hang up. You know what time it is, Brian.
I gave you way more time than most people. How about that?
You are scamming the people in the truth community.
In what way?
You're avoiding real losers like Paul and Snail and others.
Name the scam.
And you are part of POGO, privately owned, government operated, and you're pushing up some bullshit.
Name the scam.
Huh? Look, Chili DeCastro. This video game, your fourth fucking 10th GoFundMe. What the fuck, dude?
When did I mention it? When did I ever?
Dude's board game?
When did I ever mention?
What the fuck? We're almost at World War III. We're almost fucking big. And see, here's the deal. You know Marfugel and Mike Stratton, and you know the charity fraud.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Wow, that's why I hate censorship, guys, because I want guys like that to talk. I want them to reveal their character. I want them to reveal how irrational they are and that they are not interested in having a conversation. They're interested in having a monologue. I promise you guys, I will get a better system where we're not going through Google Voice. I will try to set up something in StreamYard so that things are a little bit better. If you want, the phone lines are open. Yeah, I gave them a little bit more time than I should have.
TB Home Services, Inc.
To accept, press 1.
Hey, you're live on Here's the Deal. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was just calling to say I've been watching you for years. I agree with probably 90% of what you say. And I really just called to plug The Last American Vagabond and his account, Albert Pratt, that he's under right now. And maybe you guys can collab sometime in the future.
I talked to Ryan. He actually lives where I used to live in Nashville. I love the guy. He does great work. He's probably one of the most honest journalists in America. And I support him every chance I get. What is his new what's his new handle and what's the platform?
YouTube is under Albert Pratt.
Pratt?
Yes.
I did not know that. When did that happen?
I don't know. I just stumbled across it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. It's got his same Last American Vagabond logo. I didn't even know that he had a YouTube presence. I'm glad that he's back on there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I called for, Brian. And, I appreciate what you do. And kind of sucks that we live in the days of censorship. I miss a lot of the old content. So keep up the good work.
Me too, brother. I'll try to fire up some stuff on Rumble, but they don't like me much over there either.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you very much.
You have a good day.
Thanks for calling. Take care.
The migration situation is being allowed to happen.
This, by the way, is Ryan Christian from The Last American Vagabond. If you don't know about him, you should check
Jeff
him out.
Hammond?
To accept, press.
Hey, this is Brian from Here's the Deal. You are on the show. You're live.
Oh, great. Hi, I'm a big fan of your show. I recently started my own YouTube channel. You're one of the people who inspired me.
What's the name of your channel?
It's called Decentralizing Mind Control. If you watch the first description video, I describe why I name it that. One of your quotes that I really respect that I repeated is how you describe democracy. It's hating your neighbor for choosing a different master than you want them to choose. and I think all forms of government, they're designed to develop into something more and more tyrannical, into something like communism or Nazism or complete slavery. I listened to that previous caller. He sounded like he was a little bit. He was a bad representative of unslavia, whatever he's trying to promote. I don't know what that is. He was making accusations of you because you're profiting and within the system. I don't blame you for what you're doing at all. Like, of course, if you could avoid taxes, that's always better. I don't know what unslavia is. I wonder if it's something where you could sell products without paying taxes with cryptocurrency or something. If it is anything good, he's a horrible representative. The way he made all kinds of accusations about you.
Well, there's a guy named there's a guy that promoted not too long ago. His name, well, it's been a while. It's been about 2 years. His name is Paul Unslaved, and I like the guy. And it doesn't sound like he's representative of who the real guy actually is. So I should call Paul, because I haven't talked to him in a while. We haven't talked together, and I'm definitely interested in having a conversation with him because he is rational.
Okay. Also, I heard the previous caller. He was talking about kind of justifying forcing your way over the whole group because the majority wants something. If you get 2/3 approval or majority approval, and it kind of reminded me. I'm sure you've probably heard of Mark Passio. I went to his website and I saw you're on the. Here's the deal is listed on the people who are part of the One Great Work Network. So.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've tried to reach out to Mark. He's very busy, but I've been in touch with his secretary, and we just haven't come up with a way where we can actually do a live stream. But I would love to talk to Mark. I'm a big fan of his work.
I think I saw I think I saw your channel on the list of the people on the One Great Work Network. I actually just bought the course he's teaching, how to become the true media. So I'll be attending that course this summer. I haven't finished listening to all of the What on Earth is Happening shows, so I don't listen to the most recent one and get a chance to do a live call. I'm trying to listen to all of them from the beginning. But I heard him on another show, and he actually talked to a caller that called in, and the caller was asking who gets to decide what is right, and he seemed to be a little bit offended, but he answered the question, but he said just that type of thought is like the original sin, to think that someone to think that someone could decide what is right and what's wrong. That's how you make excuses. Oh, in this situation, it's right for me to do something wrong because I need it for my own reasons. It just gives excuses to make all kinds of justifications. But just like the caller who called you, when someone has some low mentality, I try to take them serious anyway and see what they could be talking about. Like, I was curious what the Slavia was. I was just thinking, if someone asked me that question, I would answer it differently. I would actually say the owner, because all rights are property rights. We all own our own body. We all own our own mind. And our body, it's ours because we're using it, but the matter, the atoms that make our cells, they get replaced throughout our lifetime. They're not ours forever. They're ours because we're using it now. And anything that's our property, if we gain it without stealing it from someone, without hurting anyone, without doing something wrong to get property, it belongs to us, and we have the right to own property.
Yeah.
Now the things that aren't.
I like to look at rights in the negative rather than the positive, because we have the right to keep and bear arms, but it's more that nobody has a right to keep us from keeping and bearing arms. And if they do have that right, then they have to accept the right for others to keep them from keeping and bearing arms and, storing up wealth or accumulating property or whatever. So to me, it's really, really simple about what's right and wrong, because all you have to do is you ask yourself, would I want that same action that I am doing to somebody else to befall me? And if the answer is no, then you can't do it. And then if you do it, if you violate your conscience, because that's what you would have to do to force something onto somebody else that you wouldn't want onto yourself. If you violate your conscience, then you've stepped across the line and you did that which you know to be wrong. So rather than proving what is right, all you have to do is ask, hey, would you want that wrong done to you? And if the answer is no, then you don't do it. And anybody who crosses that line has actually committed a real crime under common law. Does that make sense?
Yes, I totally agree, but hear me out. There's a reason I'm elaborating. I think I have a more accurate. Not that anything about your description was wrong, but I think it's a more thorough description. I want you to hear what I'm saying. For example, if you're doing something to someone else that you wouldn't want done to you, maybe they do want it done to them. It's them. Like someone asks, buy me a pack of cigarettes, and I think you shouldn't smoke cigarettes. They're bad for you. They give you cancer. So I choose not to do it. But I could buy them a pack of cigarettes. I don't think it would be doing something wrong, even though it could potentially hurt them, because they want the cigarettes. They own their body, and they have the right to say what's right or wrong for them. See, something that's nobody's property, like some rock.
Yeah, but I don't see that as the same, because you have the right not to buy somebody cigarettes, and you haven't committed a wrong against somebody by refusing to buy them cigarettes. I
agree. You have not committed a wrong by buying someone a pack of cigarettes, but you've also not committed a wrong by buying them a pack of cigarettes if they ask for it. Do you think it's wrong? If I ask you to buy me a pack of cigarettes, do you think it would be wrong to buy them for me?
No, I don't think it would be.
Right. Even if the cigarettes can hurt me, even if you're a non-smoker and you wouldn't want to smoke the cigarettes yourself,
well,
it wouldn't be wrong for you.
I also don't think it would be wrong to not stop you from drinking a cup of Drano either. I don't think it would be wrong to not stop you.
Well, it's my life is mine. I think if I want to commit suicide, I think it would be my right to commit suicide. But I understand what you're doing. You're kind of taking charge. You are in a way violating my rights if you stop me from committing suicide. If it's what I really want to do,
I'd prefer you stop. I'd prefer you. Wait. I'd prefer you stop saying. Hold on. I'd prefer you stop saying that word so many times on a live stream. Algorithms do not like that. So.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. But hey, man,
I got new to YouTube myself.
Hey, yeah, no problem. I have a lot of calls stacked up, but I appreciate you calling. All right, brother.
Okay, I'll talk about it on my own channel. But thanks a lot, and I appreciate your channel. It's excellent.
All right, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me talk.
Yep.
Bye.
All right. As for that one guy, I don't mind having a conversation, but my gosh, when somebody's talking over you, it gets a little irritating. It's fine. Personally, last time I talked to Paul Enslaved, we had a good conversation and nothing was wrong. So if something's changed, I am not aware of it. I have not been keeping track of his channel. As a matter of fact, I'm looking right here. I think this is his channel. And it must be a new channel, because when I promoted him and the last time I talked to him, if I'm not mistaken, he had about 20,000 subscribers. So, and I've been impressed with Paul Enslaved's knowledge and how he handles cops, and he has a really good traffic stop that I still have on my channel. So maybe we can talk more about this in a second.
The Angry Vet.
Hey, what's up, Angry Vet?
What's shaking?
What are you angry about?
What am I angry about? Everything. Everything.
What's the deal in your neck of the woods? By the way, thanks for those memberships today, man. That's really kind of you.
Oh, no worries. I like to give where giving is needed.
Well, I appreciate it, man. What's on your mind today?
Oh, I just want to thank you and all your subscribers and everybody in chat for being you and doing you, and we wouldn't be us without people like you, right?
Ain't none of us greater than all of us, right?
Right.
Tell people about your channel, man. I'm pulling up your channel as you talk.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't really think that I would be a YouTuber or have a channel in the 1A community. It was kind of like the government screwing me, so I need to capture this on video. And that's how it kind of all started.
And what are you in the middle of any kind of litigation right now? What's going on?
No, I haven't. I'm in the middle of, well, not in the middle of litigation. I'm starting litigation with Baltimore County and all their false arrests. I'm 12-0 with Baltimore County, and the VA is still trying to send me to trial without a lawyer. And even while it's up in the federal courts. It's in a higher court in the circuit court, Cecil County, still trying to push it through. So,
hey, I've kind of been meaning to talk to you about this particular thing and some other, what I would consider auditors. What do you think about the rapid rise in popularity of these trolling channels, and what do you think their MO is? What is their main objective? What's their goal, do you think?
Well, I think they're in the big picture, I think they're just a bunch of clout chasers. They see that there's two sides to every coin, right? And they don't like the fact that, we don't like cops and we don't like government and we're anti-government and yada, 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 or whatever. So they're going to take advantage of the other sides, the idiots that listen to them, and they're going to do their thing.
Man, when somebody has a clearly contradictory position and stand, and then they continue to stand by it when people do videos exposing, okay, let me just back up. First of all, in order to deal with these people, I feel like it's the best policy to stay out of the realm of ad hominems and personal attacks, because if the message that they're conveying is destructive, and I believe it is, because I think it's a message that while there are some auditors out there that are doing things that look like they're irritating the masses instead of educating the masses, I think for the most part, a lot of guys are out there, they have their heart in the right place, and they're actually just trying to exercise their rights, just giving them the benefit of the doubt. But back to the trolls, I just feel like if they are ever made aware that they have a contradictory and inconsistent message that actually violates individual liberties, including their own and their own family's liberties, to continue with that appears to me to be either serious steroid level cognitive dissonance, or they're just cruddy human beings and there's really no excuse for it.
Yeah, I would have to lean towards the whole crummy human beings. I mean, I think they're just total turds. I think they're turds.
That's how they present themselves to be. That's why I don't want them censored. I'm not calling for any of them to be doxxed or anything like that. I don't have any bad feelings or ill will or unforgiveness in my heart toward them. But I do think that if we were ever locked in a cage together next to each other, that I doubt that they would be as vitriolic in person as they are online. What do you think?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the definition of a bitch. Like it's the same dude that's in jail that cowers in the corner, and then when he gets out of jail, he boasts about his or her jail time and how tough he is. It's the same kind of person, you know?
Yeah. Yep. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling. I got a couple more callers and then I got to head out of here, but I really appreciate you touching base.
Yeah, bro. Okay, shoot me an email. I want to share a story with you.
All right. Thanks, man. Hey, contact at highimpactflix.com. Send me one. Okay.
All right. 10-4.
Okay, brother. Take care.
Love y'all. Take care.
Back, man. Thanks. That was the Angry Vet. That was the Angry Vet. Subscribe to his channel. All right, one more. We got time for one more call. It's 5:38. I got to run, but let's get this last call. Oh, they hung up. Did I hang up on them? Oh, here we go.
From New York City.
Oh man, here comes trouble.
What's up, Brian? What's going on, brother?
Here comes trouble. Hey, remember, we are live, so be careful.
I wash my nasty mouth, so to speak.
It's back at Shamil from New York City. What's up, mother?
Brian, I love you, man. Ignore all the haters. Ignore all the noise. You're a great person. You're a great man, and I respect what you do. All the power to you, health and happiness to you and your family. Okay.
Hey, I appreciate it. From a man on the street perspective, what are you seeing there in New York? Is it getting worse like we hear?
Yes, it is. It's completely insanity. We're definitely going towards the agenda that they set for us. Technologically, we're advancing towards everything that they set for us from start of 2020.
Yeah, and one of the big concerns is the cashless society. So I remember about a year and a half, you and I started talking. You sent me that video where you can't get into this one store unless you have a QR code or something on your phone. They won't even let you in to shop. So how much worse has it gotten in that past year and a half?
Well, I'll tell you this much. There's less cash being used. Banks eliminating ATMs. Okay, you go to. I went to the airport recently. I traveled. They use facial recognition cameras for you to check in and check out. Right. They activating all kinds of new tech. Like if the gun goes out in the neighborhood, they have technology on the light poles that will pick up that shot and will alert the police. And they have facial recognition cameras around that area.
That is crazy. And they also have they're one of the areas in the United States that has a heavy surveillance presence for like license plate recognition as well, right?
Oh yes, 100%. Not only in New York City. I went to Miami. Same thing over there. They have what we call plate readers. You know, they read the plates while the cop is driving, and you know they have cameras also in Miami. All major cities, Brian, have the same type of approach like New York City. There's no, even my home country, Brian. I'm not even gonna go into any big cities in this country. I'm talking about overseas, my home country. They implementing that kind of agenda overseas. The facial recognition cameras, the license plate readers, and you know, so far and so on. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and that's in Azerbaijan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. You said it well. Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. That's crazy to me. And
look it up. Don't take my word, Brian. Don't take my word for it. Look it up, brother.
Yeah, no, I totally am aware of what you're saying because this fits right in with the 2030 agenda, and they're right on schedule for it. They want to initiate the CBDCs. They want people to submit, and what they key off on is apathy, indifference, and fear. They just want people to be in fear, and it's like, don't worry, we're the government. We're going to keep you safe, but the trade-off is you got to give away your biometrics, and you got to let us track and trace you no matter where you're at.
100%. 100%. I'll tell you something else. There's so much crime going on nowadays. The people, I'm against it, brother. Listen, I feel when the cops around me, I feel intimidated and I actually have a fear in me. But people are so soft and so weak. they demand the police presence. And forget about the police presence. We have National Guards in certain subway stations, stationed and guarding the entrance and the exit of the subway station.
Yeah.
This is how crazy things are. People are so I'm trying to stay away from the F word.
Mind controlled?
Mind control, that they demand more police presence and more soldiers' presence on the ground to keep streets safe and the subway system safe. I mean, I never had a problem. I don't look for confrontations. I take a subway every day. I use mass transit every day, and I don't pay for it. I don't pay for this nonsense service. I just jump the turnstile and go my merry way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play along with the bullshit that they pushing through. But anyways, that's what I see on the ground, and hopefully, that makes sense to you.
So
whatever that.
So you never got a certified letter in the mail with your face on it, going, "Hey, we see you jumping these turnstiles, and you're gonna have to pay, buddy." You've never gotten anything like that?
Not yet. That's a good one. No, that you're right about that. It's coming. They basically, I believe we're in the testing phase where they're testing everything out. They want to see how well the system works, how well they can run the database. Like they want to test things out first before they make it a production type environment. You know what I'm saying? They're testing a lot of things at this point, and they're gonna release that at some point and make it official. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I know what you're saying, and it's kind of like, man, there's this trade-off, because as technology increases and people want to be a part of that technology and it makes their lives easier, and now we've got all this convenience, but then we look back and it's like, man, we're 10 years, 15, 20 years into this thing. What have I given away? And we can't go back. It's like we're at the point of no return almost.
Yeah, we have cameras on the buses. Like when the bus drives, there's a bus lane. We now have bus lanes. If you drive on a bus lane, you will get a ticket via mail, or they're gonna give you a ticket through your registration when you register your car or something like that. So we have bike lanes, bus lanes. So if you drive on those lanes, you'll get a ticket, automatic ticket by the cameras that take pictures of your plates. The bike lanes is out of control at this point. I went to Miami. They have bike lanes over there. Forget about Miami and New York. Forget about Los Angeles. My home country have bike lanes. They're building bike lanes across the globe, I think, at this point. This is how crazy things are with the bike lanes.
Oh my gosh, man!
And
okay.
Brian,
go ahead.
Not only they build bike lanes, they build the whole infrastructure for the goddamn bike lanes. They have the traffic lights for the bike lanes. You have the barriers. You can't, like, they have physical barriers that the cars cannot cross over. And what happens is they build all this stuff, and that creates a massive traffic. Like, it creates a bottleneck. It creates a bottleneck and creates more traffic.
And don't you have, is there some kind of licensing scheme for somebody who has a bicycle? Or no?
Not as of yet. They're planning to do that. I believe they're going to do it at some point. They, like I said, they building infrastructure for everything, but at some point I believe it's going to happen, like you said, where, there will be, you're going to have to pay something for that kind of, what do you call it? I don't know, using roads, I guess, the infrastructure and all that stuff. So
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, I got to go. Thank you so much. Always good to hear from you.
Brian, listen, all the best. Listen, don't listen to these older haters, brother. I love you. You're awesome. Enjoy life. Smile, man. Forget all the haters, bro. I love you. Take care of yourself. And all the best to the keyboard warriors, everyone in chat. Peace, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Love you back. Take care.
Bye.
All right, that was back Shmo from New York City, hailing from Azerbaijan. Hold on one second. I got to turn this off. That's got to be the last call, guys. I gotta vamoose out of here. Hold on one second. All right, make sure I'm charging my phone up. Let me see. Let me get this fixed right here. All right. I saw somebody dropped a super chat and said that they wanted to call in and tell their story. I just don't know how to parse out these calls from the Google Google call thing. It's like first come, first serve. Do you have time for one more call? I need to tell a story of a family protesting for 12 days outside of jail. Hey, BC Scanner, can you just send me an email? contact@highimpactflix.com. contact@highimpactflix.com. And that is, if you didn't write it down, it is in the link, or it's in the description under all my videos. Guys, I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for everybody who called in, even the detractors. You know, I would sit down and have a conversation with the guy who just kept talking over me. I don't know why people do that. It's weird. Why call somebody to have a conversation with them and have it be a monologue? Swamp Fox just dropped $5 and says hit the, oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. I always forget to say that. Hit the like button. And let me just say this, guys. I try my best not to drink the Kool-Aid, but you know, sometimes, you know, you let your guard down and you let bias slip through, and then cognitive bias sneaks in, and we've all got these remnants of cognitive dissonance in our brains that go in, and none of us is greater than all of us. And we can all work together on this journey to help us get through this in the best and freest way possible. I don't agree with everything everybody says. You don't agree with everything I say, but maybe we can sit down and discuss the things we disagree with, because if there's something that I'm propagating, the reason I'm propagating it is because I think it's important. The reason I put out these videos is because I think it's important. Do I get monetary gain from that? Yeah, not as much as you'd think, but yes, I do monetarily benefit from videos that I put out, but so do the trolls who criticize you for monetarily benefiting. And, you know, people go, oh, you're grifting for a shirt. And then 2 months later, they're promoting a product, which that's fine. You can promote a product, you can sell a shirt or whatever. Selling a shirt or selling merchandise to try to monetize yourself so that you can keep the lights on and feed your kids is not grifting. Grifting has everything to do with a con. It has everything to do with being fraudulent. Let me just show you. Just take a couple minutes here. Grifter. A grifter is a person who engages in petty or small scale swindling. But what I like to do is I like to follow the information trail. I just like, what is swindling? Okay, so engaging in small time swindling. What's swindling? What is a swindler? A person who uses deception to deprive someone of money or possessions. It's a con game. They're con men. They're using deception. In other words, they're lying to you. When we say Chili's in jail, and he is, even our Nevada judges will tell you he's in jail. This one guy seemed to think Chili's not in jail. Or anybody. It doesn't just have to do with Chili. When you're setting up a GoFundMe, you're saying why you're going to set it up. Here's why we're setting this up. This is the legal fund for this. Where's the deception in that? You can choose to give. You can choose not to give. You can choose to flip Chili off and say you hate his guts. You're free to do all that stuff. You're free to come to the table and have a discussion. That's what humanity is all about. I am not even close to being right about everything that I think that I believe and the ideals I espouse. They could be wrong. That's where we sit down at the table and go, well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? All right, I see your point here. And then there's give and take. There's compromise. There's, honing. They're sharpening the blade, so to speak, as iron sharpens iron. So one man sharpens the countenance of his friend. It's like, hey, when you're lagging, I'll pull you up. When I'm lagging, you pull me up. But it's all in the spirit of, hey, let's get through this thing together. Let's not be cruddy people. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's not engage in dishonest